Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade, and today we're at Radio City Music Hall for the NBC Upfront. We'll be bringing you interviews with the stars of one of America's favorite networks, so get ready for a great day behind the velvet rope. Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade, and I've got Red in the flesh. First of all, congratulations on the success and the renewal of The Blacklist. Talk to me about creating this character who's not only become one of the most notorious and fun characters on television, but one of the most well-known and beloved.
I read the pilot for this, and I liked him and was curious about him, and he seemed like a character that could sustain multiple seasons, just because as much time as you spent with him, you still had so much more to be curious about, and he's surprising. And just when you think you feel like you might be on firm footing with him, you're not at all, and the slope becomes extremely slippery. And I like that.
Liz is such a strong female character, and there's not enough of that right now in Hollywood. Talk to me about bringing a strong female character to life.
Well, the interesting thing about calling her a strong female character is I think that's a word we return to a lot. But she's actually shown a lot of weakness, which I think is the most interesting.
She's very vulnerable.
She's vulnerable. She makes a lot of mistakes, but they're understandable mistakes under her circumstances. But I think the reason people call her a strong character is because there is an inner strength that carries her through all of these just very human and flawed and mortal acts she takes and experiences she has,
This show, it became huge.
Yes, nobody. Of course, you never know about these things. It's a lot like the lottery. You put it out there, you see if people respond. In this case, we got some great material to work with, and a great cast led by the great James Spader. So it's one of those things where they all lined up. It's rare, and we don't take it for granted.
When I look at my journey for this show, it started out as a audition on a hot July Saturday. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, I audition on a Saturday, and I'm going into season 3 as a series regular. I mean, you can't make that up, you can't plan it. So I'm truly appreciative of that journey.
We've got this terrific cast. We get to shoot in New York City, and I'm surrounded by very handsome men, so I'm happy.
Spader, any better than that?
Yeah, I mean, he's like the most charming and meticulous and wonderful person to work with.
Nick Cannon, NBC Upfront, America's Got Talent.
Yes.
Talk to me about representing the show here.
Season 10, the most extreme season ever. We're having a lot of fun with it, and it's going to be a good time. I'm DJing the Upfront. I'm always bringing a party. I'm America's party starter.
You're part of one of the flagship shows of the network. Talk to me about being part of this behemoth, America's Got Talent.
Oh, I love it. If I wasn't part of the show on the judging panel, I would still be at home judging. I love the show that much. We watch it as a family. It's the only long-lasting variety show that is really entertaining, that actually produces really good talent. So, I mean, I'm happy.
This new show, Aquarius, looks awesome. Yeah. Tell me all about it.
Well, I play a LAPD homicide detective named Sam Hodiak, and an old flame of mine calls me up that I'm still in love with, but she's married to this lawyer guy, and her 15-year-old daughter has run away. And her husband is involved in electing Ronald Reagan governor, so she doesn't want this in the papers. It would be embarrassing to the campaign if they had a runaway. So she says, can you find her for me? And I say, sure, because I'm still in love with her. And I track this girl down, this 15-year-old girl down. She's living on a commune in the desert with a guy named Charles Manson, a bunch of other girls. So that's 1967, 2 years before the murders, and that's how our story begins.
How amazing is it to have a New Jack City reunion from movies to television, the change for you?
Television is closer to the repertory theater. You know, it reminds me of the days when I was in school or when I was doing repertory theater touring around. You got to be quick. You got to have your skills together, and the turnaround is short. I like that. It's going to challenge me. And with this character, I get the chance to do a lot of different things. I get the chance to play funny, hard, do some action, do some martial arts, do some mysterious stuff, have a little sex, important things like that.
After 17 seasons, Ice, still going strong, man, still killing it.
I came on to do 4 episodes with Dick Wolf. I've done 5 shows with them, starting with New York Undercover. 4 episodes turned into 17 seasons.
It's getting crazy in here, and you have a new show. You're back here. Talk to me all about the new show.
Yes, it's called Hot and Bothered, which we all are right now because it's so hot here. But it's a workplace comedy on NBC, and it's about the workplace being behind the scenes of a telenovela. So it has all these huge, funny characters, people you've never seen on TV before, situations you would never imagine, and it's over the top and funny and broad, and people are going to love it.
You're back on NBC. They tried to get out, but they pulled you back in.
I'm not back. They don't let you go. I've been in a tiny prison on the NBC lot for the last 2 years. They just keep you in a pod, and then they bring you out later.
Do they keep you match fit in there? Do they feed you and sort of like...
They do.
They give you lines to learn so that you're still using those muscles?
Yeah, just in case. Anytime they might bring you out. A couple times they moved the pod out, and I was like, is it time? But it wasn't. They put me back.
I love the name of the show, You, Me, and the End of the World. That's like the title I want of my life.
Yeah, it's about the end of the world, pretty much. The world ends, and there's a small group of survivors, and the first season, it's all the various people who are going to survive. You see how they manage to be the small group of survivors.
Talk to me about the reaction you do get in Chicago.
That was, that's another big thing. Whenever you're, we're portraying an actual career, an actual job, and that commands a lot of respect. So the last thing you want is to walk by a firehouse and have a firefighter come outside and just give you flack for, hey, that's not. So we do our best to tell the most accurate stories with the most amount of truth possible. It is television, so there is creative license here and there, but for the most part, we've gotten a great response in Chicago. I'm friends with a lot of firefighters there. When we go, I show up to a firehouse, it's open arms, you're welcome, sit down, have a meal, shoot the breeze and put on a game, and they really, they joke around, but they really like the show, and they say, hey, thank you for, making us look good.
Talk to me about becoming part of the Dick Wolf family for you and rejoining in this new show.
Well, we're very excited. I mean, one of the sort of interesting things about it is that we didn't actually shoot a pilot. We shot a few scenes in an episode. So it's going to be the exciting part. It's like seeing actually what the show turns into. But when you're working with Dick, the one thing is that there's going to be a level of quality there, and it's always great to repeat customers are the best kind.
And Dick can literally pick a city, put a show, and it's a hit, right?
And there you go. And so it's really great to be able to work with Oliver. I've been a big fan of his for many, many years. And just to get back into the Dick Wolf family, we did. We had a great time.
It feels like there's so much buzz around this show right now. That's going to be so exciting.
It is. It's really exciting. But I've been away in Berlin, so I hear all.
What's Twitter?
I know.
What
I hear all this stuff now, and it's great.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. It's really nice to hear, and as I said, the buzz, from the bosses and the heads, they're all really excited. Yeah. So am I.
This is such a different world than Thor. Yeah. So talk to me about going to the TV world, and you're like all tattoo covered. I just heard you saying you're 7 hours of tattoo places. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's different than Thor for sure, and it's a great piece for me to play a character that is a bit of action, but also just in this emotional trauma of trying to find who she is, so that I can, I guess, show people I can actually act instead of just swing a sword. But no disrespect to Lady Sif, she is definitely one of my favorite characters to play.
It feels like there's a real push right now in Hollywood for stronger female roles. Talk to me about seeing more of that, because I think we need to.
Definitely. My sister's 16, so just to have her have more role models that she can look up to and look at her same gender, that's super important, and I think that's important for the country as a whole.
bringing back this iconic character. How's it going to be different this time around? Or are we going to see the same?
I think it'll be expanded. I mean, it takes place in a totally different environment. It's in Pennsylvania, in the Brandywine Valley, a school called the Pennsylvania Institute of Science and Technology. They don't have a football team. My son is hired out of high school to go coach a new football team, and one of the prerequisites that he get his dad out of retirement.
You were the choir leader of a bunch of pretty funky people. It's pretty awesome. Talk to me about the show and being back.
It's awesome, man. I love doing the show. I love the people I'm with. It's kind of a dream job. It keeps me in LA, and we're going to do it live now, so.
How crazy is that? Because obviously as a stand-up, you're used to live audiences.
Yeah.
But it's a totally different dynamic when you're working in an ensemble.
Yeah, you got to, I always say that if it goes wrong,
go home.
No, I always say that you can blame other people if we mess up, so.
How exciting is it to be back?
So exciting! Yay! It's the phone call every actor wants to get.
I love it. Talk to
all day long. I just have to say, this great group chat. There's a lot of camaraderie.
Yeah, it's just fun to keep working with people who are kind of becoming like family members to me, and just keep having them instead of like just losing their phone numbers when we got canceled, which was my normal plan.
Yeah.
We're just all saying how hot it is. It's like the muggiest day, but not for Game of Silence.
No, man, no. Game of Silence is pretty hot too.
We turn it up.
We turn it up. I think we brought the heat, and this is what it is. It's about, our show about friendship. About 25 years ago, we had this really dark thing that happened in our past. We resurface and try to right the wrongs of our past, and it's some real cool nuances in our show. The friendship, the brotherhood, the fact that we band together, and we got Bree.
That's
in the
That's
show.
all that matters. It's a win already.
Once we get Bree in there, it's a wrap. No, it's good. It's game over.
Yeah.
You get to work with two brilliant actors, Deborah and Josh. Talk to me about the wealth of content there.
Well, I've learned everything about how to be a professional actor from Deborah Messing. She just is so effortless in how she carries herself on set, and I would be a complete hack without her. And me and Josh have a great kind of chemistry in the show because he thinks I'm a total idiot, which my character is at times. And I love our comedy together, and I love my comedy with Deborah too.
The show is so much fun, and obviously the food is involved again. Talk to me about getting the show to air and where it is now.
It's just amazing. So it's, home cooks versus professional chefs. So professional chefs have shows on every network. I mean, Food Network, Travel Channel, Cooking, on and on and on. But what I really love what NBC did was give the home cook their chance to shine and to show that they have as much culinary merit as any of these household names that have a line of knives for sale and a line of cutting boards or whatever. And that's where I learned, from my mom, my grandma, as well as my on-the-job training. And this, look, I was jaded too. When you see someone win life-changing money and you have anything to do with that, and it's because they're making grandma's casserole, it's the coolest thing in the world.
Guys, being back, talk to me all about it. It must be exciting.
It's always exciting. It's always exciting when you get another season on any show. In this day and age where shows get cut after season 1, we're going to season 3. And the ratings have been great. The fan base has been massive. So, what else could you ask for? It's been wonderful.
Yeah. And we get to work with people that we like, right?
We like each other.
Yeah, we do. We actually enjoy each other. So, another season with all
enjoy each other, Jill. That's what it is, right?
You
what? Sorry, yeah. Good talk.
Tell me all about your show that's here.
It's called Crowded, and it's basically about two girls who move back home with their parents after college. So their parents are not too excited because they thought that they had the home to themselves, and then it's back to the way it used to be.
It's so in touch with what's happening right now.
It really is. I didn't realize, I don't think, until I, started doing the show that so many of my friends, at least for small amounts of time, have had to move home with their parents. And my parents were like, when we were your age, we couldn't wait to get out of our parents' house. All you people love to stay home. And I was like, yeah, I think I lived home for 6 months post-college, and yeah, it was really nice, actually. You get all your meals cooked for you, You
have one of my favorite guys playing your husband, Patrick Warburton. That dude's awesome.
He is so good, and he's so funny. He's cracking us up. He can stretch one word out, and
turn it into about 50 laughs. You know, he's that skilled with this particular medium, especially sitcom. So I feel lucky that he's next to me and I can just, you know, ride the wave with him.